Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski, the post Halloween weekend. Hopefully, everyone had a good Halloween. Let me kind of touch base, at least on some of the stuff I want to talk about on Saturday with Dan and Justin. But I mean, there's still some better, there's still some stuff that I didn't get to fully delve into because we covered a lot of topics. So I figured this would be a good time. Get out there, get it off your chest, and see how it goes. There was some good stuff to talk about, but there's a lot of dumb stuff in there, which again is my problem because they keep saying it's this whole everything. It's a fresh start, and they literally keep doing the same exact thing over and over again. Like for instance, starting out with Charlotte. Like, I'm sorry, but after this long, between like her and Sasha like talking, you'd think that you could at least make it sound like believable or that they're trying. I could just be me being me, but like I didn't buy 1 second of it. Like it was really, really bad, in my opinion. Terrible. I don't think there was any like mic skills at all in that whole entire like situation. To me, again, you could tell me I'm crazy, but I thought it was like god awful. Yeah, I give people credit where credit is due. Like they've improved here, they've done this. Like that was terrible. I'm sorry, I don't care like who you are and what you feel about it. That was abysmal. That was like really, really bad. Them on the mic there. Not sorry, like that was garbage. And then Shotzi came out and the way they had the match end, there was a few spots where Charlotte definitely saved Shotzi. Charlotte did. There's you see those matches, those moments in matches, they happen. So I can't judge anyone for that because everyone has one of those moments where someone's got to, save you. Something doesn't go exactly perfectly right. So they do something just to save you from damaging yourself any farther than you're already going to. So, that was, I'll give her credit there. Can't be fully, miserable all the time, even though her mic skills were non existent the other night, her or Sasha. But having Shotzi, and just maul Sasha that way, trying to get her, excuse me, a turn heel, I guess. Like, I don't know about anyone out there in the wrestling world, but Sasha as a face, just it's not good. Sasha. It's like when Charlotte's a face. It never worked for me, or they're just gonna do it as a one-off, and Sasha's gonna keep. I don't know how they're gonna pull that one off. Sadly, I mean, I don't. Maybe I just didn't want to see Shotzi go heel, and you couldn't tell if like they were booing her for what she did or the idea, or like granted it was in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, the only place I've ever gone and seen wrestling. Saw many a show in that exact building throughout the many different names it has had, to include the FU arena, because I'm pretty sure that people in the city voted down, like they didn't want it built, and then they built it anyway. And then First Union, is that long ago this was? They were the first people with their name on the building, so it was literally the FU arena. That was classy, but like they were booing up a storm. I couldn't tell what it was. That's always a very, like, at least my times it's a lively crowd there. It's not like one of the biggest, liveliest things you see. It's not even that huge of a building that made it look gigantic. And well, it's a different group of people in that area. Let's put it that way. Like the stuff that goes on there, and like just decay and misery, and then like they had a rough couple of years there. And they were rowdy before that. So I can only imagine what it was like inside of that building. Still think they put on great shows there. If I lived up there, I would have been there. It's a very short trip to get to wrestling where I would be living if I was back home compared to here, which is at least 2.5 hour trip, regardless. So, It wouldn't be that much combined going back and forth. But yeah, they were booing her out of the building. And again, I don't know, like again, was it Sasha? Was it her attacking Sasha? Was it her going heel and doing that and having that moment? I mean, like, really, what was the exact reason for the booze? That's what I'd like to know. I didn't feel it. Like they could have kept Shotzi being Shotzi and just actually used her, which we haven't really seen a lot of them doing since the call up there. I mean, really, like she was on a whirlwind tour there. I mean, her and Ember get the women's tag titles in NXT. Yeah, that happens. She gets called up. The main roster, suddenly there's Tegan Knox with her. Then right after, yeah, they do that. Literally, I think they like came out and and saw the women's tag champs rode out in the tank. Let their presence be known. Then literally 10 seconds later, they were separated already. Again, they put Tegan to Raw. Yeah, there's so much in it. I couldn't tell what was going on. I just know I didn't dig it. Yes, even watching Sasha get mauled wasn't my favorite thing. Just didn't, I don't know, the feel of it wasn't right. To me, it's a lot about feel and a half tooth. That's good feel. That's just the whole segment. I mean, really, it could have just like because it started out with Charlotte and Sasha, and I felt they were that bad on the mic that maybe I was just turned off already. And yes, I have gone back and watched it a second time. Didn't feel any different. So, or like, I didn't give it a chance, but it was just bad across the board. The match wasn't, it was what it was, and then the after effects, and it was just, excuse me, just a weird vibe for me. And then it was a bunch of that, like the whole entire show. I mean, we get to see Kofi get knighted by King Woods, and like, I'm pretty sure I've talked about it, and most people already know. I mean, what are the odds they're doing that? And out come the Usos to interrupt it. They have the match later in the main event. New Day gets the win. So now we're already like in 5 seconds to a Usos New Day program. Like already that quick. I'm not mad about it for, that sake. As we know, the matches that they have put together and the matches they'll probably continue to put together. That's not the problem. I just saw it coming. It's funny. I haven't had a tickle in my throat all day until now. They got the thing, so it's going to lead. It's just if it was a fresh start, like we've seen it a million times, like you moved a lot of, teams around, like a lot of the tag team division, literally just swap shows. So there's a lot of opportunity for them to do a lot of things, and New Day automatically number one, boom, right in there. So, excuse me, sheesh. But again, it was still a good main event. It's still going to be a good program just because all the matches they've had together, they have great chemistry, so it's going to work really good. We all know that, but I just was hoping, and I said it repeatedly. If you listen, I really what they're going to go right into it. We know it, and it's going to be good stuff. Which is maybe not try to do that right out the gate, get the really good thing going before they swap over, and try to get something else going. Maybe I'm just holding out hope that that's it. We'll see. Then build something bigger. Just start out, the rebrand with a kick, but they could have had like someone new come out and challenge him, and then I don't know, just with Xavier getting the crown, like you knew it's gonna be a thing. I don't know who they're gonna give the titles to, but obviously the Bloodline's probably holding on to everything. And speaking of that, whenever they finally let Naomi off, the leash and Sonya wrestles again, they do that. Like we said before, maybe they put her in the Bloodline. Heyman's there is counting. She's married in, so maybe they could do something like with that. I don't know. Lots of things are possible with all of that, but I'm just saying I was not surprised to see the Usos come out, and that's what we're going with already. And the only big other takeaway besides not seeing Roman, just different, but man's literally been in every show for everything for a long time. is what are they going to do with Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza? Now, they had the masks on and they helped Corbin and Madcap Moss, who I agree with Pat McAfee. Like, that's an irritating combination. That's the whole purpose of it. I'm fully aware of that. And he's doing it well. Just never thought I'd agree with that. But having them get involved to help Corbin and Moss get the W over Boogs and Shinsuke, what are they going to do with that? I was hoping they were going to get like into some kind of thing just because they were so new to it. And like, I'm not real happy to see it go down that way. Because I think they're super talented, but I mean, as long as it, I guess, keeps them productive, and it could be a good thing. Because, again, super talented. So we'll see where they go with that. Oh, and Paul Heyman, again, doing that thing, doing his thing. Can't complain about that. Like, no one can complain about that. Even if he hurts your head, you can't complain about that. Heyman's good. Heyman knows he's good. We all know he's good. It's just kind of the way it is, guys. Can't do anything about it. But, so I can't really give, SmackDown the greatest of marks. Really that first segment just killed it. And again, we all saw the New Day coming, and it's disappointing, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen a lot worse, but for the way they were going lately. Wasn't my favorite thing, man. Like, again, started out bad. And we knew the Usos and New Day, we know they're going to put on good matches. So that's, beyond the point there. But there's such bad mic skills and the reaction to Shotzi. It just, I don't know. It didn't feel right to me. Like it felt off. Something felt off the whole time. And we saw the result, but it wasn't terrible, but I'm not going to go out and say it was like the greatest thing ever. It was kind of good, to me. Those mic skills are just so bad. Then we can move on to Rampage, where Bryan Danielson defeated Eddie Kingston, and that was a great match in my opinion. It was a great way to start off the show. And I haven't seen Eddie Kingston. A lot of years where I was just trying to keep up with wrestling, get caught up as much as I could, which is hard to do. Everyone knows that when you're trying to play catch up. So I haven't seen a lot of his technical stuff, but that's not what I've seen him do. And him and Bryan put on a hell of a match. Bryan's on to the finals now, and I'm guessing Mox is going to be too, but they put on a hell of a match. I mean, it entertained me, and Justin and Dan were just as entertained. Like, I found it to be amazing. Like, him and Bryan put together a really good match. And again, for a guy that I don't think technical prowess right away, that was amazing. I was very very, very happy with that. And then after that, he's walking through Schiavone, is interviewing Punk, and Kingston walks in there and runs his thing. Punk asks me if he wants to go to sleep again. So we're going to see something between the two of them. The match to go to the finals, and then that sets up something else. I'm okay with that. But again, I thought that was a great match, those two put together for contrasting style's sake and all that. Like, that was good. Again, it was a good match, told a good story, and it set up another story. Punk seems to be a different story like every time you see him, but it was good there. Dante Martin with Lio Rush, defeated Matt Sydal. Their third matchup. It was a great match. That's the way you expected. I mean, the crowd was into it, lots of chants. Is there anything you expected it to be? Like, you didn't expect him to go out there with all the stuff they're doing with Lio Rush to have Dante lose. At least I didn't see that being even in a realm of possibilities. So, good match. It was probably, a hell of a match. Like, they started out really, really good match-wise and all that. And no offense to, Britt with, her cronies and Abaddon. Like, no one expected that to be like the most elaborate, greatest, the greatest match ever. And if you say you did, apparently you're still feeling kind of funny from last night. But that was also a good match. I mean, it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it was a good match. I mean, they got all their moments in. They got all their spots. Everyone got their moment, and Britt got to walk away with their arm in the air. It's a trick-or-treat match, so anything goes. So we knew who was going to walk out of there just because of the help, but all the distraction, but the weapons were there. What it needed to be was there. I mean, we got to see thumbtacks, but I mean, sadly though, no, that's just as for the way Dynamite normally is. I mean, Rampage just doesn't have the same, feel to it to me. I mean, Danielson and Eddie Kingston and Dante and Matt Sydal were, probably better than a lot of the segments on SmackDown. Because again, I just wasn't impressed with Friday, like really at all. I mean, there were some good moments here and there, yes, but compared to like how you normally go, and SmackDown fell off. Rampage had its moments, but I mean, that's what you expect of Rampage, sadly. Like, it's not the greatest show on the planet. No offense to them. Danielson match, I mean, that helped. That helped a lot. And that probably did help get a lot more eyes on that because everyone knows who he is. But Dante Martin and Matt Sydal, like Leo Rush, like no one's going to tune in to see that. And Britt Baker against Abaddon. I mean, people are going to watch, but you see the numbers. Like, I don't know, just a very lackluster Friday night for me in the wrestling world. You can comment, tell me I'm crazy. I am. Slightly. But it wasn't the greatest thing for me. I mean, sorry. If you don't like it, tough, but it wasn't the greatest night of wrestling, for Fridays that I've seen in a while. And think it's Monday, which means the rate it normally goes, it's just going to get worse tonight. Hey, there's always something to look forward to. Monday Night Raw still has to happen, which means it can go crater even worse. Because that normally leaves a whole lot of just as long as no one talks as bad as like Charlotte and Sasha, like how it felt to me, I'll be okay. They can irritate me all they want. I'll be okay as long as I don't have to hear that garbage. So please keep a microphone away from Lashley. At least at the beginning of the show. Like, do something good. And Xavier and Kofi talk good. We all know Jimmy can talk to the Usos. Like, so there was good stuff. But for the spots where those two are, and just like where Lashley was, like, you should be able to pick up a microphone and like have people actually believe it and feel it at some point. For the love of God, please. Just make me. Somebody's got to feel this. You're welcome, Kid Rock. Someone. Please. Pretty, please. Make me feel it. And otherwise, hopefully everyone had a good weekend. I got to see lots of people dressed up as Jericho all around the world, and Fiend, and like a lot of WWE characters out and about, and just wrestling characters in general in the world, which was good to see. Good to see wrestlers themselves dress up as other things. I think Morrison dressed up as Dave Meltzer, which what Paige did was amazing. If you haven't seen that, go find it. Like that picture, that costume was great. And it was an overall good thing. Like, I got reactions out of mine. I posted the picture. You saw it again. I know the pants are wrong, but ordered them over a month ago. And well, thankfully, they didn't come through. But don't worry. I'm sure they're sitting in my mailbox right now, which is why I refuse to go check the mail. Because I don't want to get that pissed off today. As it's just one of those, you're waiting that long, waiting. It's going to come the day after you need it. But it was good to see, all of it out there. It was very, exciting. See a lot of interaction, a lot of people, again, all kinds of wrestling stuff. Lots of Jericho. I saw lots of pictures of him compared to everybody else. And I had a good time. I got the reaction out of mine. I'm sure everyone else had a good time, and everyone just got to, be like normal people for a short, time, which people haven't gotten to do for a while. So that was good to see. It was really, really good to see, actually. So at least we had that good, moment or day whenever you guys did it. I know people have, did different things between Friday, Saturday, and last night. We did it last night here. It was nuts. But whenever you did it, hopefully, you really, really enjoyed it and had a good time, because Raw is tonight. Well, Actually pretty much sums it up. Raw is tonight. So you had that good moment in between some pretty lackluster shows, in my opinion. But again, it's just my opinion. So you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I just don't think I am this time. Like it just didn't feel right. It felt off. And that's just the worst feeling you can get. But all that being said, my throat finally, figures. I have no problems now. I'm going to let this one go short. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of headache to talk about when it comes to, Raw tomorrow. So I'm going to keep this minute and shorter because, again, wasn't a lot of big stuff. Like both shows were just bummers to me. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I appreciate watch or listen, however you're doing it on whatever platform you're doing. Again, videos, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, audio, all over the place. Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Sketcher, can't forget Sketcher. And I also have it on iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. I just can't keep track of that as well as I can the other platforms. But always, if you're watching, feel free to go back and listen so you don't have to stare at this ugly mug, even though I know the wall behind me makes up for it. But do that too. Either way, however you do it, it's all appreciated. So let me know what you think. Like the stuff, share the stuff out, comment so I know what you think. Follow along on all the platforms and comment on those things and share them out. Sharing is the biggest part of all those, sharing and commenting. Then it gets out to a lot more people. And I know how crazy I really am. So enjoy the rest of your night. Be good to each other. Hopefully Raw doesn't hurt our head. Sadly, it's too early for me to say quarter is stupid right now, but about 2.5 hours away from that. So enjoy the rest of your night. And until tomorrow, my friends, peace.